I built Lefties Lens out of necessity, not inspiration. Chaos forced me to build calm, and I've learned this. Calm always beats chaos, especially when chaos shows up before you do. I'm Chase Satrowski, founder of Lefties Lens. I help agents and creatives bring order to the marketing side of real estate, from listing to launch. This episode kicks off a new season for us here at Lefties, and we're doing something a little different. I'm reintroducing the company, the purpose behind it, and why calm is the thread that runs through everything we build. If you've ever been the one carrying the chaos on production day, this episode is for you. Let's begin at the beginning. My first real estate production happened at the start of COVID. A founding agent at the brokerage I was an agent at called and said, "Could you help us with video? We literally can't let people in to see the house that we need to sell." I said yes. I showed up and I walked into a complete mess. There was a 30-foot U-Haul parked sideways in the yard. There were cleaners inside. There were window washers inside and out, cords everywhere. I was filming a walkthrough for the agent while trying to not trip over furniture that was halfway in and out of doorways. And we had to do it then. That day was a crash course in how listings actually run when no one coordinates details. And since then, I've walked into every version of that scenario. Condos mid-repair, tradesmen still finishing work while we shoot, stagers running behind, agents fielding calls in the driveway because the seller changed their mind about something the last second. Every single time, I find myself being at the calm point in the room. I don't run the show. That is the agent's job. But if no one else is calling the play, I'll make a suggestion and keep us moving because somebody has to. And here's what I've learned in over 600 productions I've worked on. Chaos doesn't come from lack of talent. It comes from misalignment. When everyone shows up with a different understanding of what's happening, when it's happening, and what's expected, that's when things fall apart. It's tried and true. And here's the thing. Agents feel it, creatives feel it, and it shows up in the final product. The key takeaway is chaos isn't the problem. It's a sequencing problem. So, what does calm look like in practice? For us, it means preparation. It's gear charged and bagged the night before. Memory cards cleared, batteries full. A shot sequence written on my phone so I don't have to waste time deciding where to start. It's a quick walkthrough before I touch the camera, seeing what's ready and what's not. If someone's still cleaning, I shoot the opposite of them. If the lighting is dropping, I hit the exterior first. It's the way I organize afterwards too. Folders labeled by property name and date, file names that make sense, Lightroom catalogs that match the listing so I can find everything in 2 clicks a year from now. None of this is fancy. It's just structure I can count on. But here's where it gets interesting. That structure doesn't just help me. It helps the agent. It helps the seller. It helps everyone on the creative team. Because when one person has clarity, it creates space for everyone else to do their best work. Think about it like this. If I show up calm, prepared, and confident, the agent relaxes. The stager stops second-guessing their work. The listing flows. But if I show up frantic, asking questions that should have been answered yesterday, now everyone's managing me instead of focusing on the property. Calm is contagious. So is chaos. The question is, which one are you bringing to the listing? The key takeaway here is calm isn't a mood. It's preparation you choose ahead of time. Over time, those habits have become foundational for what we call the listing to launch framework. It's the same system we've been teaching through Lefties Lens. A set of repeatable steps that help agents and creatives stay aligned through the entire listing process. The first piece of that framework is the 24-hour listing prep checklist. It's a simple guide that keeps everyone on the same page the day before production. What needs to be done, what to expect, what to avoid, and here's why it matters. When the agent knows exactly what the creative team needs, and the creatives know exactly what the agent expects, there's no more guessing. No surprises, no last-minute scrambles. And if there are, you have the bandwidth to take care of it. The checklist covers things like confirming access, verifying the property is production ready, aligning on the narrative, What story are we telling? And why does it matter to the buyer? It also protects the production window because if the stager's running 2 hours behind, or the locks haven't been changed yet, or the yard wasn't prepped, those aren't creative problems. They're coordination problems, and they kill momentum. The checklist solves that. It gives the agent a clear path to prepare. It gives the creative confidence that when they show up, they can focus on what they do best. That focus shows up in the final images every time. Here's the bigger picture. The listing to launch framework isn't just about one shoot. It's about turning reactive listings into repeatable launches. It's about building a system where calm becomes your competitive advantage. Because when agents and creatives align, listings launch effortlessly. The key takeaway is a framework doesn't limit creativity, it protects it. If you've ever been the one carrying the chaos on production day, you know how exhausting it is. You know what it feels like to show up prepared, only to spend the first hour or so solving problems that should have been handled before you even arrived. That's why this season, this fall, Lefties Lens is focused on showing you the systems and habits that turn chaos into clarity. I want to recap what I covered today. First, the story of my first chaotic shoot and how it taught me that chaos comes from misalignment, not lack of talent. Second, what calm looks like in practice, preparation, structure, and the habits that create space for everyone to do their best work. And third, how those habits that we've built became the listing to launch framework, a repeatable system that aligns agents and creatives from listing to launch. Next week, I'll launch through how to use the 24-hour checklist step by step and how it fits into larger framework. If you want to download the checklist, the link is below. It's free and it works. I'm Chase Satrowski with Lefties Lens. Subscribe, download the checklist, and let's make calm your competitive advantage. We'll talk soon.